Greetings, brave adventurers, and happy Glory Story Mondays! That's right, going forward, every Monday is going to be reserved for glory stories and other fun and funny stories only. Start your week out right with a bit of positivity. Here for the horror stories? Don't worry, that's every Friday. I have a schedule, you guys. You may have also noticed that my sound quality has improved dramatically. That's all thanks to a magical curse finally being lifted, that of terrible Mycicus. All that out of the way, grab yourself a mug of your favorite beverage and have a seat around the fire. Let's get to some glory stories. Today's story is taken from the r/RPG Glory Stories subreddit, posted by the user R042 and titled Mike Forgets His Gun. Now, everything about this campaign sounds like a complete blast, and I do not want to spoil a single thing, so let's just get right into it. This one's going to sound very, very odd and needs some context, so let's start with that. It's also probably the best final session of an RPG I've ever GM'd, and that includes the fight against the evil Emperor's butler as the giant spaceship was being sucked into a black hole. I want to hear that story. I ran a very amusing superhero school campaign a while back in a universe of my own creation, which started as, let's mash everything together and make it work, and ended up a dysfunctional riff on My Hero Academia, which went all over the place, into incredible places, in fact. What matters here, though, is not the space pirate game show host, or the magical girls, or the Australian snake charmer, or indeed the orb, but one character, Mike. Mike was in a game where most of the rest of the party were on a level between friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and Pretty Cure, straight from the pages of badass and not for kids Image comics. He was an edgy, jacket-wearing, motorbike-riding demon summoner with a mean line in street magic who went looking for trouble, gambling with monsters and doing dark deals. So his character story in this campaign, where each PC got their own themed adventure, involved a bunch of evil modern-day mages summoning the ghosts of legendary historical figures to fight over who becomes ruler of all mages, only for the evil pharaoh Akhenaten to take over the whole affair. Stop me if you've heard this one before. At the end of the adventure, he spent a lot of time and money and magic crafting an extremely badass engraved chrome double-barreled magic handgun with mage-killing ammunition, and used it to shoot the reincarnated mummy and reduce it to dust. I thought, aha! We have a plot device gun! I can work with this! So the party wanted a fun epilogue, and I'd had an idea sitting on the back burner all game of a truly appalling St. Trinian's-style public school for superheroes, and the greatest ski trip ever began. The party went to a private ski resort in Hokkaido to relax, bringing their cool NPC friends like Derek the Dad Rock fan alien, and Psycho the magical girl from the 1970s. There they ran into the Rose Garden Young Ladies Academy Combat Student Council and Light Operatic Society, an evil student council comprising a chain gun wielding mad scientist, a discipline-crazy swordswoman, a sadistic Oni, and a mech pilot alien princess. I love all of them. Some verbal and physical sparring ensued as the public school toffs acted as you'd expect. Mike was able to use his affinity with hell to create a pocket dimension for a fighting ring so the mech could throw down against the party's summoner hero, and everyone had a good laugh. It was the perfect wind down after a hell of a big narrative finale. This was when I introduced the final dungeon. the Cursed Shrine. It was going to just be a bit of a laugh, a chance to throw in some in-jokes I'd not had a chance to use in the main campaign. It ended up being incredible. An old priest said there had been strange noises coming from the demon-sealing shrine near the ski slopes, and a group of students had been messing around near it. The party immediately followed the plot hook and ended up in what I now call the Vaporware Dimension. I described what they saw within as a field of green grass and a blue sky with crystalline music playing, and put on some Macintosh Plus at an atmospheric volume, showing a picture of the classic Windows grassy field desktop background to set the scene. The public school girls had been trapped in this parallel world of weird music and wrong nature, and the party decided to save them. What followed was a series of quirky fights against these characters' subconscious fears. The demon girls' suppressed desire to torture and eat humans manifesting as a hellish beach barbecue where the party had to fight various ghosts and devils. The alien princess's fear of engulfing Earth in a space war played out as a showdown with men in black in a remote research lab. And the scientist girl's memories of a meteor hitting her hometown, turning into a small lakeside village in rural Japan where a seemingly idyllic summer festival played out in an endless loop as she tried in vain to convince people to evacuate before it was all destroyed. But all this was building to the true secret of this weird world, the Ivory Tower. The disciplinarian had made a literal fortress of ivory, where she could rule a perfectly ordered world forever, granted this power by the true source of the strangeness, a psychic alien meteor. I had planned this as, Mike can use his cool anti-magic gun to break the illusion, right? Right? A brutal fight ensued, possibly the hardest of the whole campaign, as the party summoned their spiritual allies and the meteor fought back with visions of past villains. They pulled out every superpower and trick in the book just to get Mike to the core of the crystal where the student council president was trapped in her dream. All it took now was for a powerful attack, with a weapon anathema to the supernatural and magical entities, to end this illusion. The party looked expectantly at the guy who had the cool gun, waiting for him to use it to save the day. At which point, Mike's player uttered a line that lives in my memory.
Why would I have brought a gun on a holiday?
Nobody had a good answer for that, and I completely lost all composure as a DM. The one time Mike had decided to not act the tough badass was the one time the party actually needed that power. It wasn't a campaign ender, there were still other ways to prevail, and the fight carried on. But bringing the cool weapon, that had been the character's big project throughout the campaign, had been something I'd thought would be obvious. I'd never considered the party would go on a holiday without loading for bear, and, to be fair, neither had most of the party. Still, in the end, the psychic rock was defeated, the student council were saved from the parallel dimension, and the world didn't get turned into an ivory tower of cold and unfeeling discipline. And the campaign faded out with everyone laughing about what had gone down as the sun set on a hard-earned holiday. Derek got to play The Song of His People, Jeffrey Rafferty's Baker Street. There was a love confession, and a new era of peace in the universe started. In theory. Stories like this one remind us all why we play TTRPGs. Everything about it was silly, cool, over the top, and incredible. I'm not even sure what my favorite part was, to be completely honest. If I'm picking just one thing, the Rose Garden Young Ladies Academy Combat Student Council and Light Operatic Society. I would like to meet all of them and attend their school. I wonder if they take foxes. I can sing, see? Somebody! Okay, sheesh. Everyone's a critic. That will do for our story today, though. I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed telling it. Don't forget to like the video, it really does help, and subscribe for more content just like this. Please tell me what you thought in the comments below, both about the story and my new schedule and audio setup. And don't forget, I have a Discord set up for the channel so we can all hang out and talk about RPGs. And foxes. Lots of foxes. Until next time, everyone, let's douse the fire and get back to our own adventures.